All right, let's see what we get out of this one.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, guys. So you know me a little bit, okay? You know a little bit about me. You know that I love film. You know that I love anime. You know that I love hip hop, and I absolutely love destroying bad Spurs takes. And apparently this is one. I have no idea. I actually haven't listened to this at all. But this was sent to me by Spinoza on Twitter, and apparently, big shout out to Spinoza. So thank you for sending this. But apparently, this is a bad Popovich take. He said, "This is a terrible take. You need to listen to it, Clan. Give me your thoughts on it." So yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. So I only heard a little bit of this. Okay, I didn't really want to spoil myself. All right, when I actually live react, so I only heard a little bit. Okay, a snippet. And I didn't get a lot out of it. So I'm gonna watch this, or at least listen to it, and we'll see what comes out of it. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and be as transparent as humanly possible, because I don't want to necessarily be or at least I want my biases to be out there. Okay, so I don't know if it's Jeff Garcia giving the take. I have no idea. I think that sometimes they have guests on. I genuinely don't watch Locked On Spurs, but I will say this: not great history with Jeff Garcia when it comes to social media stuff. I never talked to him. I sent him a message about this before. But look, it's a pet peeve of mine. Okay, something I really hate. I actually posted like a press conference at one point, and this happened a couple times. A press conference that I did not even get from his Twitter, and I posted on Instagram, and I end up getting like a copyright claim on it, saying, "Hey, take this video down. It belongs to this person," and it didn't belong to Jeff Garcia whatsoever. So I already like have that little bit of animosity. Okay, just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm not a mean person, but I will be honest in saying that's my bias here. So if I'm a little like uncharitable towards Jeff Garcia, that's probably why. I'm not crazy about like how that stuff went down. But that's besides the point. Let's dive straight into this. And it might not even be him giving the take. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to this. This is what's the current state of the Spurs. Ooh, what is the current we know we're not that great. All right, let's go ahead and listen to this. Oh, before we do that, Clan the merch fan, okay? But if you want merch, it's there. Link in the description. Clan the merch fan. Go do that. All right, okay, let's do this. I'm sorry.
We hit you into the weekend right here on Locked On Spurs.
Nope.
You know, David Robinson versus Michael Jordan. What?
Nope.
A series finale light. Yes, everybody. Locked On Spurs starting next week until training camp. Will be going down to maybe 3. By the way, I want to get your thoughts on something. Know what I hadn't done?
Don't care.
So, but every once in a while I get that craving. And don't get me wrong, we can go to like these places,
who is this? Did he introduce him?
The square brick and a I'm like, what's so funny? He goes, "You have nothing to talk."
You've been doing.
Who is this?
Locked On Spurs starting next week until training camp. Will be going down to maybe 3 if there's something to talk about. So Locked On Spurs will be kind of light in the next few months, but so no pressure, Jimenez.
You know, you save the best for last. You know, but hope you get some time off, man. Because you've been doing Spurs.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, Mike.
I'm about to look at
now. Which one do
Mike,
you have? The chicken, the creamy chicken, the shrimp, or the?
Oh
beef?
my God, I don't care.
In me, but hey, you're not here to listen to what I had to eat or Taco Bell.
Me neither.
I've never heard that before, Jimenez. But we're here to talk about your silver and black.
I have no idea who he is.
We saw Coach England leave for the OKC Thunder. We've seen coaches leave. Part of a big chunk of the brain trust. Will Hardy and Ime. We're seeing Brett Brown back, and is this it for Pop? And the Spurs projected to be not but maybe the worst team in the NBA next season. That's why you're here, Jimenez, because we got to talk to you about this. Overall, is this Spurs team right now just a sinking ship right now?
I don't know.
Most definitely it is. I know there are a lot of optimistic Spurs fans out there who think that the team is going to win.
I don't know what sinking ship. The Spurs want to tank, and that's what they're going to do. I don't know what that means, honestly.
30-plus games next year and compete for the play-in tournament. Not going to happen. I mean, Vegas has the over-under at 23 wins, 23 and a half. My personal over-under is 19. I think the Spurs are going to 63 next year. And
that, huh?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I take a look at the Spurs roster. I see 2 glaring holes. Who do we have as a starting point guard, and who do we have as a starting power forward?
I mean, first and foremost, I've said this many a times before, so I won't be a broken record. I won't just stay on this point. But who do we have at point guard? Who do we have at power forward? Point guard, we have Josh Primo. And if you look at today's NBA, yeah, you don't have traditional point guards anymore. I mean, Luka Doncic, Ja Morant, these are not necessarily point guards that are, traditional by any means. And then on top of it, you said who is at power forward, Michael? Jeremy Sohan, right? Are we like dismissing? I don't know. Are we dismissing that? I don't know. Am I being too mean? I'm going to hold my judgment.
We don't have an answer. There is no answer. I mean,
as of now,
there's an answer.
It's not like they're going to pick up anybody in free agency or trade for anybody between now and the beginning of the season. So, I mean, is it going to be Primo or Trey Jones at point guard? Is it going to be McDermott
Blake
or is it going to
Wesley?
be like Wesley? Yeah, I mean, Trey Jones is a non-guaranteed contract, so I take a look at it.
Are they not even going to bring up Sohan? I'm confused. He's talking about the 4th spot. Why aren't you bringing up Jeremy Sohan? I don't get it.
That 4th spot, and are we going to play Keldon out of position again? What are we doing here? And all signs point to this is a tank season. I mean,
yeah,
that's just what it looks like. And and I think the depressing part of it all, because I wanted the Spurs to tank last season, so that they could get a Paolo Banchero or Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren. I wanted them to do what I like to call a V-shaped, tank. You dip down for one season, and you just jump right back up, right? They say that about the economy. V-shape versus U-shape. And it looks like we're going to go into a U-shape, which means that we're going to be really bad for years to come. Probably at least three more seasons.
Wait, what would have made the I don't get this. So if we wait, hold on. Is he insinuating? Hold on. I'm so confused. We were very mid this season. I don't know what he means. So what he's saying is he want a V shape in which the Spurs are bad for one season and then they pop back up. He's insinuating that if we got Banchero or Jabari Smith, that is better than if we were to get, I don't know, Victor Wembanyama. I mean, if we get Victor Wembanyama, more than likely that's a V shape. What's making him believe that it's going to take more than a season before the Spurs are at least a decent team again? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the guys, from what my knowledge is, the guys that's coming up in this upcoming draft is better than the guys that were in this draft as far as the lottery is concerned. So I have no idea what he means by that, but maybe he'll talk about it.
And, when you go on that 20-year run with Tim, Tony, and Manu and the Tim Duncan years and then have 6 or 7 losing seasons in a row, it's going to be painful. Yes. And I think the part of me that...
What's making him believe it's that many seasons? I mean, I don't necessarily disagree that it could be a few seasons, but I don't know. I don't know what would have made tanking last season better than tanking this season. I don't get it.
Really is upset is I think that the tank has gone too deep in what they're doing. And the brain trust is no longer there. I mean, you mentioned Chip England. I was thinking to myself, at least we got Chip, right? I mean, at least we have somebody who can teach our guys to shoot the ball. This is
at least you have Chip, somebody who can teach your guys to shoot the ball. I mean, Chip England, don't get me wrong, like he's that guy. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. It's not like every single player that's came to the San Antonio Spurs became better shooters because of Chip. Not necessarily. Like, some guys came and they already could shoot fairly well. I don't think Josh Primo working with Chip England would help him that much, really. Even someone like, when we got Marco Bellinelli or Patty Mills, it didn't really help them. Manu Ginobili, not really. It helped with guys like Kawhi that definitely needed a tweak. Tony Parker, who needed a tweak. But he's not the only shooting coach in the NBA. Like, you'll be fine. I don't know what's this infatuation with. And not only that, there's been so many coaches come and leave in San Antonio. The only difference now is that we're a bad team. We just don't have the talent. So everyone notices it now. But we've had guys come in and out. When they talk about the Pop branch, I'm sorry, they didn't just leave this past season. It's been years of this. Whether it be Thibodeau, whether it be Presti being with the Spurs, whether it be Udoka, Brett Brown, now that he's back with the Spurs, Budenholzer, Becky just left. But all I'm saying is there's been so many. Messina, that's another one. But there's been so many coaches in and out. What is this infatuation of losing a coach right now? I don't get it. This happens all the time. It's happened every single season or every other season or whatnot. It's not that big a deal.
somebody who helps Kawhi Leonard develop a game, and Tony Parker and Danny Green. And,
No, not Danny Green. No, Danny Green actually didn't need that much of a tweak. If you guys knew that, like he didn't need that much of a tweak under. That's just wrong. Not Danny Green. Don't get me wrong. Chip England helps everybody, but no.
He's just somebody who's known as the basketball shooting guru, and now he's off the team. And I'm thinking, how is that going to impact a Jeremy Sohan in the future?
He did mention Jeremy Sohan, so why didn't you mention him being the power? I don't know.
Impact Malachi Branham or Josh Primo in the future, negatively impact them. And then, like, I'm taking a look at the.
How is it going to negatively? Okay, maybe I'm stopping too much. I'm sorry, guys, but it's not going to negatively impact anybody. It's going to be neutral. They never worked with them before, anyways. It's not going to negatively impact you to not work with someone that you never worked with before. Like that's not how that works. It's just going to be kind of neutral, or maybe we'll hire another person that can do just as well. I don't know. I don't know. And Malachi Branham can shoot his butt off. I like they're showing him. I like Malachi.
At the bench, and when I'm saying the bench, I'm not talking about players 6 through 12. I'm talking about the bench behind Coach Popovich. If and when he one day retires, who's he going to leave us behind with? Because there's just nobody there. I mean, we see Ime Udoka, coach with Boston, and Budenholzer with Milwaukee, and Monty Williams with Phoenix, and Steve Kerr, and Taylor Jenkins, and Doc Rivers, and Will Hardy, and Mike Brown, and it's just like, who's left? Becky Hammond's not there anymore. So I think the depressing part is that it's going to be a more prolonged rebuild. It's going to take a lot longer than what Spurs fans were probably prepared for.
What's making him believe that? That's my main thing. What is the difference between tanking this season and if we tanked last season? Because what he's insinuating is if we tanked last season, we would be a winning team this upcoming season. But if we tank this season, we can't be a win. Is it DJ? Is that it? I mean, and who's to say DJ would have still wanted to stay? Like, I don't think he wants to be here. I mean, his actions right now makes me believe that he was never really a Spur. I don't know if he wants to be here. I don't understand. I truly don't understand this one. I don't get it.
I started Jewel Dancewear and
dude, I have to really get. I'm sorry, guys. I really got to just get YouTube Red or whatever it's called. I don't know why I do this.
Like, what's the solution behind Pop? Because we have to actually turn the page on that chapter. I mean, Popovich is the oldest coach in the NBA. He's going to be 74 years old during this season.
So, that's not an argument for getting rid of Pop, but you see what he says.
Being said, he is 55 years older than 3 of his players. 55 years older. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a lot of coaches be good big brother type coaches. Ime Udoka did that in Boston this past season. It was very successful. Monty Williams in Phoenix.
Dude, no. He just said that most coaches have a big brother type role with their player. A lot of coaches don't have that. Like, some coaches do have more of a father figure type role. And wouldn't you want Popovich to have more of a father figure like role instead of a big brother role when we're talking about very impressionable 19-year-old kids coming in? Because you just mentioned the age gap. Maybe that helps them a little bit. I don't know what you mean. Also, saying that the Spurs don't have anyone on the bench, therefore we should get rid of Popovich because what exactly? I don't really understand where you're going with that. Like, if we don't have anybody on the bench and Popovich is the only guy, wouldn't you rather Pop just kind of coach up the other guys behind him and coach up the team right now? And like when Pop is ready to go, the team is set and we're good. Like to set up the next. If we don't have any coaches, if all the coaches behind Pop right now are trash, if that's what you're insinuating, that any coach that's on our bench right now is trash, then don't you want Pop here to help them? I don't get it.
And it's just, I just think that, yeah, we can celebrate Pop for his 5 titles. We can consider him the GOAT because he is in that discussion.
He is the GOAT, but okay.
But man, if we're going to do a full rebuild, let's do a full rebuild. And that means from the bottom down.
Yeah, he is the final piece, I believe, in this complete.
Dude, I'll hold my judgment. Hold on.
Rebuild, because you have practically, like, it's a college team going out on the court next season. It's practically what it is. It's a bunch of guys that still should be in college. I know everybody does the one and done, but if they do the traditional route, some of these should be sophomores and juniors and seniors before making to the pros. So yeah, it's going to be some lean times next year. But
I mean, like every NBA player that comes to the NBA, like theoretically they would have been a sophomore or whatever the next season. I don't know where we're going with this.
You've been railing against Pop a lot lately, whether it be on halftime.
So he is he's a Pop hater. Okay, all right, time to get mean. Hold on.
Or whether it's on the Blitz when you co-host there. But you know what? I want to get your thoughts on Popovich. Why do you think he seems to be some sort of barrier right now to the Spurs, maybe getting out of a U-shape, as you say, a rebuild? But before we do that,
okay, it looks like commercial. That's a good question. That's a really great question posed by Jeff Garcia. Why do you feel like Pop is a barrier?
I want to talk to you about
I genuinely want to know that.
Online resource for all your sports. No. Your silver and black
talent, and have Pop leave midway through it all. You know.
Oh wait.
And I think a drafting talent.
The guard now, then later at the head coaching spot.
Exactly. What's the point of developing talent, or drafting talent, or trading for talent, and have Pop leave midway through it all? You know.
Huh?
And I think one of the things about it is, you know, we saw this with Jonte Murray being traded, and him.
Rewind. Hold on. What's the point of developing talent and getting talent and Pop leaving midway through? Guys, this is the NBA. I can ask you, can you do that? Can you be a winning team if your coach leaves in the middle of it all? Can it happen? It can. It happened with the Warriors. Like, you're talking about all these coaches that have left and we don't have them anymore. And I'm sure that you would assume, or you're saying that Steve Kerr, one of those coaches that, you know, he's not with the Spurs. Well, he wasn't, but, you know, he's learned from Popovich, right? Like, he's somebody from Popovich branch. You would probably assume that he's a good coach, right? He didn't rebuild his team at all. Like, that team was set in stone when Steve Kerr got there. So I have no doubt in my mind in the NBA that if Popovich helped create a team for the future and he leaves, that team can be okay under another coach if they're already established. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. What's the point of him leaving mid through? I don't know. This is the guy. If you want to develop talent, if you want players to get better, Pop is the guy that you want right now. He's probably the best. If Pop retired, if not retired, you say Pop quit, okay? He's like, I don't want to coach for the Spurs. He would never say that, but I don't want to coach for the Spurs no more. Every single team will be throwing money at Popovich. That's how great he is. And any team, that any rebuilding team, you don't think that the Thunder, you think the Thunder wouldn't take Popovich? You're crazy. Any team would take Popovich because he can develop talent. That's silly. That's dumb.
Kind of opening up after he left San Antonio. And there's certain things that he said very cryptically, like, you're the only one, to Ime Udoka on that Instagram post, you're the only one who believes in me.
He's talking about, okay, if you don't know what he's talking about DeJounte Murray, in which DeJounte Murray posted on Instagram, in which he said, Udoka, you believed in me when you know who didn't. And we already can insinuate who he was talking about was Brian Wright. But I think that what Michael here is trying to say is that he was talking about Popovich. If you look, first off, I don't take anything that DeJounte Murray says seriously anymore, okay? The way that he just kind of played around with the fans like he did with his departure from the Spurs, I don't take anything he says seriously. But I do find it kind of funny that you're going to take that quote, in which he was obviously talking about the front office, but you're not going to take the quotes in which he said that he loves Popovich and Popovich is the guy and he's like a father figure to him, and the Spurs have saved his life, and talking about Pop, how Pop has saved his life. I don't know if you're going to listen to what DJ has to say. Why are you not paying attention to that? I don't like that.
You know, stuff like that. And I just wonder if Pop gets through to the newer generation of players. He doesn't get through to them the same way he did Tim, Tony, and Manu. I mean, they were closer in age at the time. I mean, think about it this way. We talk about how Popovich is going to be 74 years old, and he's been with this team for so long. You know, he was in his 40s when he first joined this team.
What is all this ageism? What is this? What is this? Every point why Pop should leave is because he's old? Yeah, bro. Like, look, you know, Pop doesn't relate with the younger guys. What are you talking about? He most certainly relates to the younger guys. Look, Popovich is one of those rare individuals, okay? And there's very few, okay? North Carolina coach, he was like this. But like, you can be an old guy and still relate to players. All you have to do is have a very good understanding of people, which Popovich does. He has empathy towards people and where they come from. He always talks about cultural differences. He continues to educate himself on different cultures, different people. He can relate to anybody. Every single person that has come through San Antonio in some shape, form, or fashion has said that they like Popovich for the most part, okay? Kawhi Leonard, yeah, it didn't end that well, but you know what? Kawhi hasn't said one negative thing about Pop at all. The same thing with Steven Jackson. He talked a little bit of trash, like, Pop already got onto us. But he also says, Pop made me into the person that I am today. Like, people love Popovich. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what your evidence is that Popovich can't help or he doesn't relate to younger guys. I have no idea where you're getting this information from, because it's not true. I haven't seen it. No one has seen it. That doesn't happen. He relates to everybody all the time, every day. I have no idea because he's old. Like, it's just so many inference. It's like, he's old, bro, so he can't relate. Like, what are you talking about? That's dumb.
You know, he was in his early 50s when he was developing Tim Duncan.
Okay.
And it was easier for him to kind of communicate with that guy, with Tim Duncan, who's our greatest player of all time.
Okay.
Simply because, you know, they were easier in age. It was Big Brother. It was Uncle Pop type of thing.
Right.
And a 55-year difference, and all the things that the Spurs...
Wait. Was it that way with Kawhi too? Was it still like a Big Brother type of thing? It was more of a Big Brother type of thing. I'm sorry. Look. Popovich, Tim Duncan created the dynasty. I understand it was very great mutual agreement. And yes, it might have been more of a Big Brother role. Was it like that with Manu? I don't know. I feel like it was more of like a dad Pop thing. Tony, yeah, it's Pop, right? Same thing with Kawhi. Like, that was Pop. And we were successful in 2016, 2017 before Kawhi's family got involved and everything. But that's what's talking about. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? There's this Big Brother. It's not like that with every NBA team. It's not like that. I don't know what you're talking about. All because of age? Age is his argument. I need to hear a good argument why Pop should not be with the Spurs. Just give me one. Give me one good argument. Just one. That's all I need. Just one good argument. Just one. Please. Just give me one other than Pop is old. You said it like 5 times now. Why should Popovich be gone? Please tell me why.
Are not allowed to do, not allowed to have a personality, not allowed to have podcasts or speak to the media in a certain way. It's so
what? The players aren't allowed to have oh my God, they're not allowed to have a personality and they can't talk to the media a certain way. What do you want us walking around like Westbrook and just saying whatever to the media? What the heck are you talking about? No, they can have a personality. What do you mean? What do you mean? The only thing that Pop in the front office asks of you is to be mature. Just be mature. Be a professional. That's it. You can be your own person. What are you talking about? Dude, we have so much footage. Guys, okay, all right. I was clinically on the internet in like 2019, I believe. And I even did videos on this. The Spurs had so much chemistry. Everyone had different personalities, and they would go on IG Live and have a blast, cursing, messing with each other, having a good time, just normal guys all the time. They didn't sit back and say, we need to be on our best behavior because Popovich is on the plane with us, and Popovich might give us a whooping if we say anything. That never happened, ever. This is wrong. This is just wrong. You're wrong.
So claustrophobic what they do over there.
Oh,
so not only, think about it this way, not only are we a city that is not attractive to these young players who might be creative, we're also going to say, and if you do by some chance come to San Antonio, we're going to muzzle you the second that you get into town.
What?
Why would anybody want to play for that?
Oh my!
They have these surveys where they ask players, who's the coach that you would want to play for?
And they always put Pop at the top. Where's this going?
And like, Pop is always top of the list.
I don't know what to say. They say, where do you want? And Pop is always he's always at the top of the list. But what?
I always think it's crap because, they may want to get tutored by Pop for a week or two, but they don't want to go through what it means to go through his system as far as personal, on court, and all of that. I just think that it's too much. It's antiquated. It's old. And it doesn't speak to the younger players. And you're not going to change the younger players.
They don't want to go through the system in which the system has changed so many times. If you look back on how the Spurs have done things, it was more, hey, ISO. Oh, my brain is frying. Isolate with Tim Duncan, isolation plays. It turned more into a team ball, a more of a shooting threes type team. Popovich was given your boy LaMarcus Aldridge, and he played him very well with Kawhi. Kawhi showed up, and he made it more of a, this is a Kawhi's team. We played through Kawhi no matter what. Kawhi left, and then it was more of a DeMar DeRozan. We're going to have you be more of the facilitator to kind of help out the other team or the other teammates, and we were pretty decently successful with that, as successful as you could have been with that roster. Yeah, I don't know. Pop adjusts like every year. That's why he has the most wins in NBA history, because he adjusts. What do you mean that players don't like the system? The system isn't just one thing. He said the system is just old. Pop has changed so many times.
Because that's who they are. That's the generation that they are. Good or bad, that's who they are.
Dude.
You can't change Pop either.
Oh, dude, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm sorry, guys. It's not just him. It's like Twitter takes, dude. It's like I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of hearing about how these players are just the way they are. They're young. All of them are immature. That's not true. Look at the roster right now. Keldon Johnson, he's a Spur. He's cool. He's laid back. He's not immature, okay? Devin Vassell's the exact same way. Josh Primo is like 14 years old, and he still has maturity like a 52-year-old. I don't know what you're talking about. The Spurs players typically have maturity. You really want to quote Jonte Murray and then just roll with that? Really?
I gotta be a little fair here.
Oh, thank you, Jeff Garcia. Please push back. Push back.
At least has changed the system as the years have gone by, the decades have gone by, from 4 down to give the ball to Tony, to Tony Manu run it, to the Twin Towers, to forming around Kawhi. And then DeMar DeRozan.
I said that.
He has been flexible in that approach.
What's your take on that, Michael?
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
That's a very good point. Because it was a different team when it was the Twin Towers in 98, 99, in that time frame, and then when Robinson left and Manu got a bigger part of the offense in the mid-off. I understand that he has been able to kind of evolve along the way.
Wait, but you didn't say that before. You just literally said, that we haven't adjusted, that it's the same system from years ago. What? Is your problem is that Pop is old. That's it. You just don't like that Pop is old or something. I don't know what's going on. You just don't like that Pop is old. I don't know if there's some personal thing here. I don't get it. Your argument is not there. You just don't like that Pop is old.
There's 2 types of evolution. There's on the court and there's off the court.
Oh my God, that's so dumb. Oh my God. There's 2 types of evolution. There's on the court and off the court. What I'm sorry. What could Popovich do differently? Okay. What would you like for Popovich to do differently off the court? I mean, what does Pop do again? He wants the guys to hang out. So he'll invite them over for wine. Well, they're too young, just for dinner, right? He takes guys out to dinner all the time. He gives them films to watch so they can kind of expand their minds a little bit. He gives them books for Christmas, typical stuff, really nice stuff. He just gives them life lessons here and there. But what could Popovich do? Oh, he wants them to be like practice on time and stuff. You want him to change that? Like just do whatever you want? I don't know what Popovich could change that would be positive for our young guys. I don't know, and you're not giving me answers.
And it's one of those things where you take a look at Pop at this age, being in his mid-70s.
Oh my God, he's talking about his age again, guys.
Can you make a long-term commitment to this franchise if you don't know if he's going to be there
Oh my
2
God.
or 3 seasons from now?
What, like,
Why
According to
would you
Popovich, he should have been gone by now. He was supposed to leave when Timmy exited.
I think Pop was going to leave after Kawhi, actually. But yeah, I think he said after Timmy, too. But I'm pretty sure he said he was going to, like, stay for Kawhi, too. So he doesn't know. Who knows?
And he should have. And think about the legacy he's going to have. He's going to go down
Wait.
with
The amount
3,
of
4, 5,
arrogance
6
he said
seasons
that
in a
with.
row
Hold on.
From now. Why
According to
would you think-
Popovich, he should have been gone by now. He was supposed to leave when Timmy exited.
And he should have. And think about the legacy he's going to have. He's going to go down with 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons in a row of losing records. I mean, yeah, 5-time champ and future Hall of Famer, most wins of all time. You get that. But talk about a stain the second that you walk out of the game. He should have left.
Do you really think Greg Popovich cares about legacy? Do you really think that Gregory Popovich cares about legacy? Who cares about legacy? What is this take? Who cares? He has the most wins ever. No one's going to be able to catch it in the modern NBA. You just won't be able to catch it. He has 5 championship rings. Who cares about legacy? Pop has said this so many times that the enjoyment he gets out of coaching is seeing guys develop and be successful even outside of the San Antonio Spurs. That's where he gets his fulfillment from. Who cares about legacy? What kind of Skip Bayless take is this? There's going to be a stain on his legacy because he had a few bad seasons.
What are your thoughts on Chip England leaving? We're talking about the coaching staff here, and if it came down to money, at least according to the report via ESPN, that it just simply came down to a contract issue.
I think it was probably really specifics in the contract, probably how long the contract is. I have a hard time believing the Spurs didn't want to pay. It seemed more like just maybe he wanted to be here like 10 years or something. I don't know.
And then
ESPN did report that. ESPN did
exactly.
say that it couldn't come to terms.
Terms are What are your thoughts on that? Is that more of a signal to you saying like, yeah, this is a sinking ship right now that they need to, get some putty and plug up the holes? How do you see that?
Well, there's nothing left. I mean, what else is there that the Spurs have that we can hold up, we can hang our hat onto? I mean,
Popovich, he's left, yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that we have left. We don't have an all-star anymore. We don't have.
Then why would you want Popovich gone? If he's literally the only thing we can hang our hat on for any type of consistency, why would you want Popovich gone, Michael? Answer the question, Michael.
I just take a look at it. Chip England leaving. He was one of the highest paid assistant coaches in the NBA. So for them to not come to terms, I get it, because it's kind of like, why would you pay somebody basically what a head coach gets paid, maybe, to on a team that's only going to win 19, 20, 25 games? So I understand that from a business standpoint. It's just from a morale standpoint, from a Spurs fan standpoint, that it just seems kind of, it just sucks, man.
That is true. That was the only take that was good out of this entire thing, is that, out of morale, Spurs fans, how Spurs fans will feel about it, it does hurt. But just keep in mind, actually, I'm going to let this play. I'm going to bring up every single move that's happened every single season and show you guys, just to show you that this is nothing new. It happens all the time. The only difference, the only reason why it's under a microscope is because the Spurs are rebuilding and people are scared. But as far as people leaving, things changing, it's been hundreds of moves every single season.
It's just hearing that is just like, it just understand that there's no turning back. We are sinking. Even if we have breakout seasons from Keldon and breakout seasons from Vassell, and we do magically get 30, 35 wins, and we are in the play-in tournament and all that stuff, guess what? That just prolongs things. That just prolongs the losing season. Houston Rockets GM said it best a while back when he said the NBA punishes the middle. Either a race to the top or a race to the bottom, and the Spurs are racing to the bottom. And anything to the contrary is actually detrimental to the team. Us going and winning 30 games.
These are
and
all
getting
the
to 10
moves.
spots, which,
that
by the way,
happened
a
during
lot
that
of the
season. It's
scouts
2010,
and prognosticators when it
2011.
comes to the draft or whatnot say that this is actually one of the best drafts coming up that we've seen in over a decade. So it's beyond for Wemby. It goes way beyond that.
Yeah, I look, no, this sinking ship obviously is going
2012,
to find its
2013.
footing, its ground, because if they do have a 19-win season, as Michael is predicting, then yeah, the odds are high for the Spurs to get a Wemby or even a top 3 pick. But, for the present, yeah, it looks bad. Do you think as of right now, this is just a ship without a rudder?
That's the problem that I see. I was very complimentary
2015,
for Brian
2016.
Wright for a lot of the moves that he made this year. Trading Bryn Forbes for picks, and Thad Young for a first rounder, and Derek White for a first rounder. And I understand the trade for DeJounte, though I disagree what they got for it. I do understand it. But
what's there to disagree with? You literally just took a player who was, by definition, this isn't me being petty, okay? By definition, he was a NBA All-Star reserve. You took an NBA All-Star reserve in a league that doesn't like to give up unprotected picks, and you got 3 of them. You got 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, 2 unprotected. That is unheard of. You are so set for the future. What more, if you want to tank, what more could you have gotten? Also, if you wanted to tank a year before, and I would just assume that would mean moving DJ, you wouldn't have got as many pieces as you got right now if you wanted to tank now, because DJ didn't have that high of a ceiling at the point, as far as what people could see, right? His stats weren't there. He wasn't an all-star. Now that he is, this is the most you could possibly get for him. Do you really think, how could you say that this is a bad move? These were incredible. What more could you have gotten?
That's where it kind of turned for me, because I was like, okay, we got a first rounder for Thad Young. That turned out to be the number 20 pick, and we got Malachi Branham for it. We got Blake Wesley for Derek White. We're loading. We're stocking up picks. Trade Jonte Murray. I thought it was an awful trade. I still think it's an awful trade. We got 2 first rounders and the potential for a 3rd. We're selling it as 3, but it's 2 way down the road and 1 that may not manifest itself.
That's like every pick. Every pick could potentially not manifest itself into something, right? It's just a risk, but it's still really good that you got. You literally just said 2. When you say 2 unprotected first round picks, that's brilliant in and of itself. Everything else is just cherries on top.
I just think that right now the brain trust isn't there, man.
The brain trust. I don't even know what that means.
In there from back in the day with Presti and Hardy and all of those guys that were there.
Oh my God.
And when R.C. Buford, wasn't CEO, and there was something different going on. I understand the vision that Brian Wright's trying to do, which is basically accumulate a lot of assets and then kind of build over the course of 4 or 5 years. I see it. But I just think that, with the DeJounte deal, they could have waited. The Spurs still had.
No, you couldn't have waited for a DJ deal. What are you talking about? If you could have waited and tried to give him an extension in which he would have had a very small raise, you could have tried that at the end of the season. You could have waited and did it next season, in which then all he really has, because he wouldn't have took the extension before, is a 1-year deal on his contract. Then if he only has a 1-year deal on his contract, who's going to give you a lot of picks for a 1-year rental? No one. So no, right now was the best time. And also, if you would have waited any longer, we already know what's going on with the Kevin Durant stuff. The Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook stuff. We have no idea where that's going. Kyrie Irving. Obviously, you couldn't have waited, because then the Atlanta Hawks would have just took that deal off the table. They're like, hey, wait, Kevin Durant's available? Maybe we can try to make a move there. What are you talking about? No, you couldn't have. No, there's nothing you could have done. Nope. This was the time to do it, and the Spurs played it beautifully. So I don't know what you're talking about. Also, it's really weird that you're just simping over somebody who doesn't even want to be here. But I don't know.
Leverage. All of that reeked of, we just cannot be burned the way that Kawhi burned us. That reeked of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is not good times right now in San Antonio. Now, again, the light at the end of the
it is. It's great times in San Antonio. Don't listen to this. Listen, guys, let me say this, okay? I can't listen to any more of this. Bad take. I wish Jeff Garcia would have pushed him back a little bit more. But bad takes. Terrible takes all around. Look, okay, if you want any good Spurs takes, stay on this channel, okay? And it doesn't, I'm not saying that because like, oh, I'm just brilliant. All of my takes are perfect. No. If I have a take and it's a bad take, I will always come back and say, okay, that take was wrong, right? Or I will talk to, you know, my boy Swish Hill, very smart guy. He's very smart. Okay, he is very smart. Or Gingy, very smart. Impeccable, very smart. Maddie, very smart. Okay, I'll talk to my people and I'll come to a better conclusion. All right, and I'll talk to you guys and come to a better conclusion. No matter what, we're gonna have the right take on this channel. No matter what it is, it's going to be the right take. All right, it'll eventually get there. If it starts off a bad take, it becomes a good take eventually. But this was a bad take. Okay, very bad take. I might have been too mean, I don't know, but that was a bad take. I'm getting off this. If you guys want to support, merch is there, clanthemerchfan.com. Also, if you want to support different ways, only $2 a month, Patreon and YouTube links below, YouTube member links, that is. But no, goodbye. I can't.